Welcome back. How did you like Ella Jenkins? I love Ella Jenkins, as you already know. One musical characteristic that she focuses on is rhythm. And rhythm is a pattern of words, notes, tones, or beats in a song. And you're thinking, okay, Javon, are we going to make a song right now? No. Maybe another day, but not right now. What we're going to do is we're going to create a visual idea of music or rhythm by making a pattern today. And the way we're going to do it today is with printmaking. I love printmaking too. One day I think we're just going to do all printmaking, but not today. So, not this class, not this course. I'm still learning. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of styrofoam. This should have been on your materials list. And I know, it's styrofoam. It does not recycle. It doesn't decompose. So the reason we're using it for printmaking is because you're going to keep all the pieces and you're going to keep printing all the pieces as much as you want, making books. And that's the cool thing about printmaking. You can hand it off to somebody and they can use what we make, which is called the plate, to make some prints. So I'm going to cut this because you see how it's beveled right here, it's curved right here. I'm going to cut those off because we're not going to need those. And I'm trying to work fast. And you guys tell me if you like working fast or working slow. It's a video, so you can always stop it, pause it, and see where I'm at. So we're going to make this piece flat, and of course there's going to be a small piece. So we have this piece of styrofoam. One reason we're using the styrofoam is because we're going to draw inside the styrofoam. And that's a lot easier to do than with using cardboard. If you'd like to use cardboard, come back and I will have a video on using cardboard with glue. It's a different way, but it could work. But today we're going to do this. So what we're going to do is I want you to think of something in a few seconds. Think of 2 or 3 shapes that you like. Circle, triangle, rectangle, or 3 times of lines that you like. Wavy, straight, crooked, bent, diagonal. Think of those things. Think of fruit, oranges, apples, lemons. And what we're going to do is, for now, we're going to start with 2. We're going to take 2 things and we're going to create a pattern. Not with colors, but just the shapes. So for me, I'm going to use shapes. I'm going to use a circle. What do you guys think? A circle and a triangle. Make sure you sharpen your pencil, or if you have a pen, that's even better, like a ballpoint pen, that's even better. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw inside. You're going to dig inside. Don't cut it out, but we're going to dig inside the styrofoam. So I'm going to, as if it was a song, circle, square. Oh, or triangle, that's what I said. Circle, triangle. And you know what, you guys? I'm going to get a pen. So that means I'm going to pause. It's going to be 15 minutes for me and probably 2 seconds for you. Bam! I'm back, baby. Here's a pen. I think the pen's going to be better for me to show you what I'm doing. So I am doing circle, triangle, circle, triangle. What's next? Right, circle. Whoa. Triangle, circle. Do you see what that looks like? Can you see that? Can you see my mangled one? Which is awesome. We have to have a mess. So, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle. I'm going to press pause. I'm going to finish mine. I'm going to keep singing my song. You do the same, and then we'll come back and see what happens. I'm back. How'd you guys do? Now, I want you to think about how music is made. Because if I just said my pattern here, what does it sound like? Let's see, I got circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle. Then it gets bigger. Circle. Does that mean it gets louder? I don't know. Maybe. In my brain. Triangle, circle, triangle, and then we go from there. So that's just the pattern that we've got. We've got some visual representation of a rhythm or rhythm. We call that a pattern. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our paint. If you have tempera, you're lucky. That's the stuff to have for this project. If you have watercolor, it's great. That's also good to have. And if you have acrylic, that's great too. Work fast, because it dries. But I'm going to take a color, and I'm using my watercolor here, and it'll work fine. Just, we're going to put more paint and less water. So, if you see my cup of water here, it's that teeny tiny bit of water. And we're not going to use a lot of water. In fact, I don't even know if I'll even dip my brush in the water for now, for this first print. Okay, then I've got my brush, and what I'm going to do, where do you think I'm going to paint? I'm going to paint on this. Can you use more than one color? Yes, if you like. But because I just want to show you guys, I'm going to use this. Now, don't get excited about what am I trying to say? Don't get excited about it getting too goopy or not goopy enough, because this is really going to help us. We want to see the whites. Okay? You see here where the blue got into the groove? That means that we're probably not going to see that circle. But that's okay, because we need a mess. That's part of the deal. That's part of the deal. I'm supposed to be looking at you, right? I'm still working on it. I'm still working at looking at the camera. All right, so paper. What good paper is to get? I think I talked about this in the material section, but I'll tell you one more time. Is it great to have nice paper? It is. It's awesome. But you can also get nice paper if you go to to an office supply store and get a ream of photocopy paper, but you want to get the highest quality that you can. And for our projects, that will work fine. Otherwise, if you want to get cardstock, that works good too. I love cardstock. And then the other thing is you can just straight up nice paper, watercolor paper, multi-use paper, multimedia paper. All right, so we have some paper here. And yes, this is just my photocopy paper that I use for this project. Boop, 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 because I can make a lot of prints. So, this is called, do you guys remember the plate? And we have our pattern. And then we're going to try to put the plate, some people do it, put the paper on top. And some people put the paper down and put the print on top. It's up to you. If you put the print on top, you have more control of where it goes. Like if you wanted to put it in the middle. And then, I don't know if you can see me, but I am rubbing with my hands. If we had thicker paper or a thicker plate, we might want to use a rolling pin. We don't need that today. We'll just use our hands. I don't need it today. If you want to use a rolling pin, that might be fine. It might actually help your hands if your hands hurt, because you have to put a little bit of pressure. So I'm rubbing in this motion. You can't see. There we go. There we go. And I'm rubbing, but kind of rough. All right. Was that good? All right. So here we go. It's going to happen when we lift it off. This is why I love printmaking. Here we have a print. All right, maybe I should use a little bit more water. And that's the cool thing about Prick is guess what? We can do it again. Let's do it one more time. So this time, I'm wrong. I'm going to actually use more water. All right, so I added some more water. I just don't want it to get super wet because yeah, see what happens is then it goes in the grooves. And like I said, then you won't be able to see all the shapes if the paint gets in the grooves. Want to see? What do you guys think it's gonna? Is that better? I don't know if we're gonna see this one. I don't know if we're gonna see that one. But let's try. This time I have a full sheet of 8.5 by 11. I'm gonna fold that in a hamburger half. Now I'm gonna put this inside the hamburger. Can you see? See if I can get even more control. And if that's too much pressure, if you can't do that, not if you can't do that, but if you don't like that, whoa, look at that, I got a big splotch. Do you like that one? It's okay if you don't. We'll do one more. Now you can do, because you have a plate, you can just as many as you like. We're gonna do one more, and this time I'm gonna get a rolling pin. Hi, I'm back. How are you guys doing? It's like a time machine back there. I'm gone for 15 minutes, and you just see me back in a second. Now, you know how you think you have something, and you go and you look for it, and you can't find it? That's what happened. So, but that's okay, because I found something else. And another thing that we'll be working on is reusing and repurposing things, because we're not always going to go out and buy stuff. Otherwise, you'll be like all my other artist friends and myself, and you have tons and tons and tons of stuff that you never use. Look at that. I'm going to use this. And if you think that's unprofessional, I'm sure to tell you. It happens. Get another sheet of paper. Some people like to wet their paper, but I think for this project we don't need to. I'm going to try one more time with my glue, with my paint. What we're going to do this time is I'm going to put the paint directly on the plate. So I'm going to squish it out and put it right on there. Not a lot. And I'm going to see if I can spread it all around. See? I've got little dots. So when you buy these and you think, oh, this is too much, I'm going to use them all. Don't use a lot. See what I've got? It's probably too much right there. This is why we need a soundtrack, because it gets quiet when we're doing art, huh? Shall I show you the plate? You want to make a prediction about how well you think it's going to work? I'm going to do this again. And now I'm going to use this. I'm using it like a rolling pin. And people like the rolling pin because you can even and you don't miss spots. And also, if you have the handles, you don't have to mess up your hand so much with the pressure. think that's my favorite. I'm missing some, but it's my favorite. Now, I'm going to introduce you guys to one more thing called a ghost print. That's when a printer loves the ink and the plate so much that they want to try again without inking the plate again. So we're not using ink, but we're using a watercolor. But I'm not going to put any more on. I'm just going to see what happens. When we try one more time to get all the ink up, probably because they didn't want to waste ink. And sometimes you get to see some funny things inside the print. All right, hands or soap bottle. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing. But I mean, in terms of which one. Let's see. There's a soap bubble. All right, you guys want to see me halfway? I hope you're having fun. Okay, here we go. Oh, there's the ghost print. Barely anything on it. It may have gotten sucked into the plate. Because we use watercolor, do you know that we can wipe this off? So we can take a napkin and wipe this off. I don't know how well it will come off. But if you wet the water, let's see, we're going to wet it a little bit and see what happens. That way you can use it again without, yeah. You see, it's coming off there. You can wipe it off. Just wet something, a napkin, a sponge, and wipe it off. Okay, so, like all artists in art club, we're going to take our favorite one. This is my favorite one. And then we're going to initial it or sign it. And this is, I think, number 2 of 3 prints that we did, plus a ghost print. I don't know if I'll count the ghost print. So I'm going to put 2 out of 3 and my name or my initial on there. Can you see that? Boom, it's backwards, huh? But that's going to work for me. All right, you guys, keep your plates. Let's see how many you can make. And on the Zoom call, and we have show and tell, show us all the prints that you made with your plate, okay? In different colors, different orientations. And what I mean by that is this way, this way, this way. Isn't that weird? Cut it up. There's so many things you can do. I can't wait to talk to you about Ella some more next week, and keep the rhythm.